Hey guys, real quick, don't you think though, if anybody's ever getting into this business, I think getting it on the radio side was the best thing for me that I ever did, because you don't have on the TV side, you always have so many. It's more structured. On the radio side, hey, I was cutting tapes, setting up interviews, doing all these things, highlights. And I'm thinking, I don't know how to do this stuff, but you learned how to do it, and that was the thing. I learned how to do all these things, not be my own boss, but basically know how to do everything.
Skill set, baby.
Because guys. Yeah, when the people in the truck start telling you something, well, they know it because they've been there, done that, and lived it. But they're not the ones that, when you're on the air, are going to look bad. You're going to look bad if everything's going wrong. But you also realize as a team, you can't do it without that team in there as far as that truck.
That's the beauty of being a jock, too. And, Boog, I think that's a great point. And I remember what Gooby's talking about, learning the mechanical stuff. For me, transitioning from a newspaper writer when I got out of college, and I did 7 years at the Daily News here in New York, right, but doing talk radio. To your point, Goobs, about, you got to think on your feet. You're talking to a whole bunch of people, interviewing a wide spectrum of folks. And I think that's been unbelievably helpful to me. Boog, what about you?
Yeah, the radio component is helpful to me. I think, both you guys can attest, especially the talk radio stuff. And there go some of those sirens.
Yeah, I know.
No, I just heard that, man. Oh.
The talk radio stuff, I think it allows you to think on your feet. You're working without a net, So if you're doing a show and you don't have callers or what, you've got to generate topics and you've got to be able to think on your feet. And it always, that sort of anchor, that base served me when I transitioned into TV, and now I get to do both, and I love the fact that I get to do both. But
isn't that great to be able to do both? I mean, I always say it's apples and hand grenades. I mean, because when you're on TV, Goobs, you're doing captions, but in radio, Boog, hey man, where's the wind blowing? And Marty Glickman, I was a Marty Glickman disciple, and I worked with him when he was in MSG and NBC Sports in the late '80s. David, I want you to tell me what it looks like, what it sounds like, what it smells like, and I want every movement. Where is his hands? If he's a left-hand hitter, are his hands high or his hands low? I mean, he said, give me every detail possible. Don't sprint.
The other thing, too, and Gooby, I mean, you appreciate this, is that when you're doing it on the radio, you're trying to activate the picture in the person's mind. So when Trout comes up, I'll say, big right-handed hitter digs in. Yeah, I know everybody knows he's right-handed, but when I say it, it activates that they're picturing him getting in. And those types of things that people may know, but there are these verbal cues. And, when you nail a big play on the radio, it's so cool because the words spill out, you paint that picture, and TV access is a different skill set. But I love that I get to do both. I feel so lucky to be able to do both.
Yeah, you're